So he is a highly respected and well-renowned professional here and abroad. He is an international management and real estate consultant, a realtor, appraiser, then book of author and business coach. Okay, book author and business coach. Further, this person has carved a niche in academic circle, a holder of BSBA, MBA, and law degrees. He has 8 doctoral degrees to his credit and has been teaching in the college and graduate schools for more than 3 decades. So this person is the first chairman and chairman of Professional Regulatory Board of Real Estate Service. And I'm so honored to have him here in our first FIRE discussion. And he is the holder of PRC license number 0001. Imagine, free license with 0001. Broker, appraiser, and consultant. And he is currently a Dean of Real Estate Management and a President of Edward King Global Consultants Incorporated. So I'd like to introduce to you our highly motivated speaker talking about Resa law, our very own father of real estate in the Philippines, Dr. Eduardo G. Ong. Congratulations and good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Tonton. Good morning,
Good morning, Doc.
It is an opportunity. Thank you for inviting me to the launching of your first Filipino Homes Institute of Real Estate. This is really a well-meaning activity of Filipino homes, and undoubtedly, you are, Mr. Luterio, a great innovator, and you have been looking into the welfare of the Filipino real estate practitioners. Congratulations also. But anyway, to start the ball rolling,
Thank you very much, Doc.
I was assigned to tackle the provisions and the salient points regarding the law that we are all practitioners covered. This is the Real Estate Service Act of the Philippines, or RA 9646, otherwise known as the Resa law. I have been asked by friends from here, from local, domestic, and abroad, what will happen to the Philippine real estate market during these critical times or after even the lockdown, when we are now into the GCQ era. And I have always been telling people that setbacks are there. It has been so even during the times of the age in the 1997, even prior to that in the 1986. And we saw a lot of changes. Setbacks are temporary, and real estate will always bounce back. I have been telling people that today maybe is bad, tomorrow maybe will be worse, but the day after tomorrow, there will be a silver lining in the sky, and it will be sunshine. The sun will rise again. That is real estate in the Philippines today. I have been listening to a lot of technical experts or gurus saying about what will happen to real estate after the lockdown, when we are already in the GCQ area and the GCQ stage. And I've been telling that it will be so. And I'm very happy to inform you that there is a memo of the Department of Trade and Industry now allowing real estate selling and buying into the acceptable and permissible activities of real estate under the GCQ area, which will be in in a matter of days. But all of the all of this have been said and done. We always are worried for the real estate practitioners. Any Tom in the past, any Tom, Dick, and Harry just sell or practice real estate. There is no need for licensing. And it was only in 19, although real estate has been there even during the early 60s, and it was, I think, the first board is the Manila Board of Realtors, wherein they started doing this kind of activities. But in 1976, under the practice of the skills or the craft, we were not yet a profession, was delegated to the Department of Trade and Industry, and that is under the Bureau of Trade Regulation and Consumer Protection. I remember when I took my license, it was then under the, the regional director or the BTRCP director Lilia de Lima. But it was then during the time of Director Castillejos when the real estate practice bloomed. So at that time, there was really no law. We were covered by Memorandum Order number 39 of the DTI, covering the practice of the three professions, no, not profession, three skills or craft. That was brokerage, appraisal, and consultancy, wherein those who would want to practice the skills, or should I say the craft, then they have to take the examination administered by the Department of Trade and Industry. But in 1989, the first bill professionalizing the real estate service was filed in Congress. And would you believe it? It took 20 years when the law professionalizing the real estate service practice was signed, or the bill was signed into law by then President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo on June 29, 2009. And so, therefore, from that time, in 2009, it took about 6 months before the first board of real estate service was appointed by the President of the Philippines. And luckily, I was appointed as the first chairman of the board of real estate service. Now, we were appointed in March. I was appointed actually on March 2, and that was an election year, and it took us so many months before we were able to start to function the board functions, because when President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo was replaced by then President Pinoy or Benigno Aquino Jr., then, no, not Junior, the third, Pinoy, then we were reappointed, and then professionalization began. So then, let me discuss with you, as I have been saying, that it was actually in July that we really started professionalizing the industry. And we were now under the Resa law, which is RA 9646. What is the Real Estate Service Act of the Philippines? Okay. So what was it all about? what was the Resa law all about? The Resa law was signed on June 29, 2009, but it was published on July 15, 2009, and it became effective after 15 days after publication. So the implementing rules and regulation of the Resa law was approved by the board on July 21, 2010, and was published on July 24, 2010, and became effective 15 days after. What was it all about? What was the law all about? The law is an act regulating the practice of real estate service in the Philippines, creating for the purpose a professional regulatory board of real estate services, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. What is the objective of RA 9646? The objective is to professionalize. As I have been saying, that when we were under the DTI, we were just considered a skill or a craft, not really a profession. But because of RA 9646, we migrated from just being a skill, now we became a profession. So the powers and functions of were transferred from the Department of Trade and Industry. I think at the time we were only about 8,000 to the new board, which is under the Professional Regulatory Board of Real Estate Service under the administrative control of the Professional Regulation Commission. So it provides policy guidelines likewise on the real estate service operation. So then the Professional Regulatory Board of Real Estate Service was responsible for the examination, registration, licensing, regulation, development, and continuing professional education, and also training for real estate service practitioners. Let me tell you that in 2012, we administered, no, rather 2011, we administered the first, because we were then in 2010, we clean up everything, we administered the first examination under the PRC. And the examination covers, in June, we gave broker. In August, we gave the appraiser exams. And in December, we gave the consultant's examination. So you cannot be registered unless you are or you pass a licensure examination given by the Department of Trade and Industry. Now, let me synthesize and look into who are then the real estate service practitioners who are covered by the law. Real estate consultant, real estate appraiser, real estate assessor, real estate broker, and real estate salespersons. You would probably note that even assessor of governments are included in Resa law. And they are, although they are, as I will go on later, they are, assessors are given the license of an appraiser, and they only do so as license for taxation purposes. Yet statistics. As of January of 2020, we had a total of 75,791. Brokers, 32,159. Appraisers, 10,487. Consultants, 270. and salesperson 32,875. Let me explain on a total of 75,791. Let me explain that brokers, appraisers, consultants, and salespersons, because appraisers now of 10,487, these are composed of public and private. Assessors, as I have said, are covered, are given also licenses of appraiser. And therefore, about 5,000 of that, half of that are government appraisers or government assessor given the license of appraisers. And brokers, we have 32,000, almost 159, and consultant 270 only. Why was it so? That in consultancy, there are only 270. They said there is no truth to the rumor that consultants are only for old people. It's not true. Because when you are, the law provides that if you would like to be a consultant, you should have been a real estate broker for 10 years or an appraiser for 5 years to qualify you to take the licensure examination for consultants. So, in my seminar, normally when I do it face to face, it's more liking that I explain in detail. However, I take I explain and I elucidate the rest of the law in one day normally. But since we only have 1 hour to look at this, and I would want to give opportunity for you for the Q&A, for the open forum, I just digested, capsulized rest of the law into some provisions so that that would be pertinent and relevant to your operations. No? Now, 32,875 salesperson. But I hope and I know that there are over 100,000 salespersons who are practicing without a license. As a matter of fact, I am very happy that Filipino Homes and Eleuterio Realty are embracing them and let them take the accredit and become an accredited salesperson under a broker. And I know that these 100,000 or so salespersons that are in the ambit of the profession should be accredited. You know that brokers, appraisers, consultants are licensed, but salespersons are accredited. They are accredited under a broker. And a broker should have at least only 20 salesperson under each wing. So therefore, it is important that the salespersons must be accredited, and before accreditation, they should take the seminar. Normally, now it's 15 hours of seminar, and I'm so happy that the Luterio Realty Filipino Homes are doing this. And this would increase the number of accredited salespersons. Yes, next. Next, please. Okay. Now, let us try to look at Article 1 of the law. No? The coverage, the definition, the coverage of who are covered. So we have consultants. Consultants are those who have been in practice for 10 years and 5 years and who have passed the examination. Yes, please, pakiclick lang. Okay? Can you click it? Okay. Now, so consultants are supposed to give expert advice or advisory to, balik uli, to, yeah. Can you please repeat all over? Nagpukan eh. Okay? So consultant, and then can you please put back muna sa consultant? Okay? Now, appraisers. Who are appraisers? Appraisers, nawala. Appraisers are those who render estimation of values. So, act as an expert in the estimation of values to given to the clients. Okay? Now, well, tapos na tayo dyan, consultant. Okay? Then, tapos na tayo dyan. Then, appraiser na tayo. Please, bumalik ata tayo. Okay, appraiser. Then, broker na, broker. Brokers, which most of us, which is involved the greatest bulk of the practitioners are brokers. No, we have over 32,000 brokers, and they are the one in charge of selling, offering, selling, promotion. Nakita niyo dyan, you can see that they do the transactions to offer, to advertise, to solicit, to list, to promote, to mediate, and to effect the meeting of the minds of the sale, purchase, exchange, mortgage, lease, or joint venture or other similar transactions on real estate and other interest thereon. So ang coverage ng brokerage is far more reaching. Can we move on, please? The next slide, please. Assessor. I've been saying that assessors are given the license of appraisers, that they cannot engage in the actual practice, but they only do it for taxation purposes. Next, salesperson. Now, this covers more of you people, that who is a salesperson. A salesperson is an duly accredited natural person who performs service for and on behalf of a real estate broker, who is registered and licensed by the Professional Regulatory Board of Real Estate Service for or in expectation of a share in the commission, professional fee compensation, and other valuable consideration. Let me take note that a salesperson is under a licensed broker. Yes, please, next. Okay. So this is the first board, no? The first board. The first board is composed of the following person. Now, we already have the second board, no? Well, I was the chair, then Van Sanchoa, Ramon Cuervo, who already passed away. Then we have Rafael Pajardo. Then we have Florencio Dino, who also has passed away. So these are the first board that was inducted by the PRC. Next, please. Now, people will ask, how do you take the licensure examinations? Because in order for you to be legit, no, to be legitimate, you have to take the licensure exam for brokers, appraisers, and consultants. Salespersons are not, they do not take the examinations, but they do what? Seminars. They have a seminar, a training seminar for salespersons, and they are accredited under a broker. Okay, please. Number one, you should qualification. Okay, one. Can you put it? Number one. Okay, you should be a citizen of the Philippines for you to take the exam. Number two, you should be a holder of a relevant bachelor's degree from a state university or college or other educational institution duly accredited and recognized by the Commission on Higher Education, provided, ito magandang explain, no? Provided that as soon as the course leading to a bachelor's degree in real estate management is promulgated and implemented by CHED, no one now will be allowed to take the examination without having a BS Real Estate Management degree. In 2016, the first batch, because it was offered on 2012, BSREM was offered in 2012, but in 2016, 4-year course. So the first batch of BSREM graduates came out. And then in 2016, during my watch, I still allowed retakers to take the examination, but in 2017, 2018, and even up to 2019, you can no longer take the examination without a BS Real Estate Management degree taken from any accredited and reputable academic institution in the Philippines. Yes, of good moral character, and you have not been convicted of any crime involving moral turpitude, no? Provided that the applicant for the licensure examination should real estate for the real estate consultant must have at least 10 years of experience in broker or 5 years as appraiser thereof. And therefore, you can take the examination. So let me clarify that if you are a BSREM graduate, a BS Real Estate Management graduate, you can take the licensure examination for brokers and also for appraisers. But there is a limitation for you to take the examination for consultants. There is a 10 years and 5 years colatilia that you should be a 10 years broker and 5 years appraiser before you can take the licensure exam for consultant. But broker and appraiser, walang limitation. You can take provided you comply with the requirements and then you have a bachelor's degree in real estate management. Okay? A license given to you is a privilege. And a license, just like any other licenses, can be suspended or revoked. And the certification or registration of the professional identification card or cancellation of a special temporary permit can be also canceled on the following reasons. Please, number one, procurement of a certificate of registration and or professional identification card by fraud or deceit. Alam niyo naman that there is such a thing as fake, fake ID, fake certification. Alam naman natin kung saan yan nakukuha sa Recto University, And so, but now the PRC has now a good chance of discovering it. May mga protections na so that it can be discovered kung ito ay fake, no? Number two, letter B, by allowing, it can be suspended or revoked by allowing an unqualified person to advertise or to practice the profession by using one's certificate of registration or ID or special temporary permit. In other words, if you allow an unqualified person to do it on your behalf, then it can be suspended or so what I'm trying to say is since we are now having a little bit of hardship in our PowerPoint presentation, but normally when I do a seminar on a face-to-face basis, I normally do a very comprehensive elucidation or explanation of the licensure exam. But let me just clarify that if you are given a license, that license can also be revoked or suspended. Okay, next. Okay. Ayan, no? Meron C, unethical, unprofessional, or unethical conduct. No? Meron. Malpractice or violation of any provisions of the law and implementing rules and regulation and the code of ethics and responsibility for real estate service practitioners. So these are some of the reasons why it can be suspended or revoked. Yes. Okay. Now, but when you are, for example, suspended, you cannot practice. Huh? Otherwise, it can also be a grounds. No. Okay. Section 23. This is very important. I always include this in my presentation that there's such a thing as Section 23 and Section 24 of the law. Ano bang ibig sabihin yan? It means the issuance of special temporary permits and what we call foreign reciprocity. In my office one time in PRC, a Singaporean went to my office and asked me, Chairman, I want to practice real estate in the Philippines. I have a lot of clients in Singapore who would want to buy real estate properties in the Philippines. Can you give me a license? Then I said to that Singaporean guy, may I ask you a question? What is the question? Do you allow in Singapore Filipinos to practice real estate in Singapore? And the Singaporean said, no, we do not allow. Then I told him quickly, and therefore we will not allow. Because that is the coverage of Section 24 under foreign reciprocity. If and when the country that are giving that are allowing Filipinos to practice real estate in their country, we may also give them an accreditation or an special temporary permit to practice in the Philippines. Now, you can ask me why we have a lot of foreign practitioners now doing real estate, no? Especially you can see they are not allowed if there is no foreign reciprocity clause. But sometimes they say, why are they practicing? Maybe they are using the license of a licensed real estate broker or a licensed real estate practitioner so that they can practice the profession. Okay, next. Now, there is an insurance, no? When you pass the examination and you would want to practice real estate, before you are given a license, you should put or give PRC a bond, a surety bond for 3 years, which is equivalent to 20,000 pesos. As you know that in PRC there's 20,000, but when you go to HLURB, they say you pay another 5,000 or so. During my time, we were trying to negotiate with HLURB now under the Department of Human Settlement and Urban Development or DSUD that sana pagsamahin na lang. It should be all together into one. So, but again and again, that was not carried. So, and I hope that the second board will do that. No? Next. Section 27. Okay. What is Section 27? Ang tinatanong natin dito sa Section 27 is ano ba yung acts of or practice of real estate service. It starts from the performance of any act. Yung kanina, yung dinipay natin yung broker, from solicit, you be jailed, you offer, you advertise, you do such things, then you are covered, and you is meant to say that you are already practicing real estate. Ang tanong, there are so many questions asked to me. Okay, Chairman, sabi niya, paano kung nagbibigay kami ng flyers, no? Sa mga mall. You see a lot of malls have their real estate booth, and they have agents to distribute flyers and to talk to clients. Now, does it constitute real estate practice? The answer is yes. So therefore, all of this must be accredited. So all of these people in the mall selling or offering properties, you can see that in so many malls all over the country, they have to be accredited salesperson. Okay, next. But meron namang exemption. No? May exemption naman. If you are any person, exemption from the Resa law, or any person, natural or juridical, who shall directly perform by himself, herself, the above mentioned activity are exempted. Halimbawa, property owner ka. If you are a property owner, do you need to get a license? The answer is no. You don't need to. But if you own your property, you sell your property, you don't need to get a license. However, sabi nila, except real estate developers who entered, for example, a joint venture with the property owners, they are not exempted. And all of these who are selling for that property, for that real estate developer, must be licensed themselves. Okay, B. Letter B. Any receiver, trustee, or assignee in bankruptcy or insolvency proceedings is also exempted. C. Letter C. Please. Any person acting pursuant to the order of any court of justice is also exempted. Letter D. Any person who is a duly constituted attorney in fact for the purpose of sale, mortgage, lease, exchange, or other similar contracts of real estate without requiring any form of compensation or remuneration. Let me explain this. No, I have encountered a lot of people who carries an attorney impact license, or not license, or document. And they said that I am selling this property. I have I am an attorney impact of the owner. Okay, but when you try to verify the attorney impact documents or legal documents, then you can see that the document does not cover the property that they are selling. Remember that if you are given an attorney impact authorization, you should only be allowed to sell the properties that is mentioned in your authorization. So if you are an attorney impact in a property in Makati, you cannot sell property in Quezon, or property in Baguio, or property in Quezon City, because you are no longer authorized to do so. You are only an attorney impact in a certain area, and that is so. Okay, next. Okay, public officers in the performance of their official duties and functions, except government assessors and appraisers. So they are exempted except the assessors and appraisers. Next, please. Okay. Now, let's look at Section 29, no? The unauthorized practice of real estate service, and therefore no person shall be entitled or to practice real estate or offer himself a real estate service practitioner or use the title, figure, or any sign lending to convey the impression that one is a real estate service practitioner, and therefore except if you are a government entity or local government, unless they have satisfactorily passed the licensure examination given by the board, except otherwise provided by the act included in the exemption. No? Okay. So they cannot. Now, let me focus on what is very important because I understand that majority of our listeners or participants would want to practice as a salesperson. For real estate salespersons, if you are out there, do you have to take the real estate broker's exam? No. No, you are not required to take the examination. So there is no exam shall be given, but submission of at least 12 hours of real estate training, CPD, or now ang tawag nila doon ay salesperson training for initial accreditation. And normally, they give about 10 hours of seminar credit for the renewal of accreditation every year. And this is very important. Completion of at least 2 years in college education. What is 2 years in college? 2 years in college is equivalent to 72 units. You can be an accredited salesperson if you are second year college. What about high school? Ang high school, hindi pwede. Kailangan magkuha siya ng second year college. No, and shall, as a salesperson, well, I reserve, after all of these salient provisions of Resa, I am most willing to answer questions para mas ma-clarify natin. Then a salesperson shall be under the supervision of a licensed real estate broker, and as such cannot by themselves be signatories to a written agreement involving a real estate transactions unless the real estate broker who has direct supervision and accountability over them is also a signatory thereon. So in other words, if you are a person, you cannot sign unless specifically together with your real estate broker. Okay, next please. Next please. Okay. Under section 31, no real estate salesperson other than the duly or indirect can negotiate, mediate, or transact any real estate transaction for and on behalf of a real estate broker without securing an authority or an authorized accreditation as such salesperson from the real estate broker as prescribed by the board. And therefore, a real estate broker shall be guilty of violating this act for employing or utilizing the services of a real estate salesperson when he or she has not secured the necessary or the required accreditation from the board prior to such employment. In other words, I would like to reiterate that you can only be an accredited salesperson if you are accredited by the Board of Real Estate Service. So therefore, it is important. Now, it is also specified in the law that the commission or compensation of any kind from any person shall not shall be given only to the salesperson who has direct control and supervision for the services rendered, and that work done by the salesperson or any other real estate transactions. In other words, commission must be coursed through the real estate broker. Okay, next. Now, it is very important, ladies and gentlemen, that in Article 4 and Section 36, it stated that there is a continuing professional education and training. So nowadays, I think the second board has reduced. Dati kasi nung panahon ko, 45 credit units to be able to renew. Pero ngayon ata, naging 50 na lang. No? So therefore, it is the prerogative of the second board to change and to update the IRR so that the necessary number of units to be taken or undertaken must be given and approved, subject to the approval of the commission of the PRC, and implemented through a memorandum or resolution to that effect. Yes, next. Section, ano sunod? Okay. Now, I am saying that these are the provisions that are necessary, and I did not input or include some other provisions that are, should I say, more on the regulatory powers of the board. However, the board has the in the law has given so many rights, no, not only to license but also to regulate, also to develop the real estate service profession. In my lecture on a face-to-face, but now we are on a webinar, so more or less, and our time is limited, so I did exhaust and I explain well all the provisions point by point. But some of those that you would probably be interested under the law, then you can ask me in the Q&A portion, because we are only given 1 hour to explain the law, which normally takes about half day or even 1 day to really explain in full details the context of the Resa law. However, but I would like to specify that in Section 39, no, of the legal provisions, there is a penal provisions. The legality and the penal and the final provision says that any violation of the law of the act, including violations of the implementing rules and regulations, shall be meted the penalty of a fine of not less than 100,000 pesos or imprisonment of not less than 2 years, or both fine and imprisonment upon the discretion of the court, in case the violation is committed by an unlicensed real estate practitioner, then the penalty shall be double. So I would like to emphasize that penal provision. It is very important that we all adhere to the provisions of the Resa law. Now, what about corporation? What about the partnership who violated? The managing partner or the board or the president and the chairman or the one in charge will also be meted or penalized with a penal provision of 100,000 or 2 years imprisonment, or in case of unlicensed, 200,000 or 4 years imprisonment. Okay? So next. Therefore, there are provisions that may be asked, but I know and I'm sure that most of them are, I would suggest that you read the provisions of the Resa Law, Republic Act 9646, which you can download from the internet, and you can see the provisions portion by portion. And for any clarification, please do not hesitate to call FIRE, to call the Filipino Homes Institute of Real Estate Service for further verification and clarification. And I'm most willing, because Tonton Lutero is a very good friend of mine, and I'm most willing to help. And I said to Tonton that anything that you need from me, I will try to help and try to accommodate and see what I can do to really enhance and develop the real estate service practice in the Philippines today. Okay, so I have always been saying, and I was the father of good morning real estate, because there will always be sunshine in the real estate service. And therefore, it will always be morning in real estate. Kaya wag tayong masyadong madedepress. Real estate will bounce back. Sabi nila, bounce back real estate service and real estate industry, and it will always be good morning real estate. Now, I am now ready for your questions that can be asked. Tonton?
Yes, Doc. Thank you very much. That was really a very beautiful discussion about Resa law, and a lot of agents now are throwing some questions. Okay,
Yeah.
we've been.
It happened, but normally, under the RESA law, it is not allowed. There should be anybody who does selling should be licensed.
Okay, so since the developer is hiring buyer, and the developer is the one who is closing the sale, is that legal?
Normally, it is really the developers who closes the sale. It is actually, especially in project selling, it is actually the broker or the salesperson, the salesperson in coordination with the broker close the sale. But then the buyer complete the finishing touches in the transaction. Actually, close na yung transaction bago dumating sa developer. Therefore, ang developer, you cannot avoid, sometimes some developers are closing, no? And how do you cover that?
Mm-hmm.
Lalo na kung diretso. But normally, under the law, I'm talking of the law, it should be through a licensed broker. But I know that it is happening, di ba? Sometimes yung bumili ka dito, buyer kita, bumili ka, pero pag ikaw nakabenta, may commission ka. It is some sort of, ano ba tawag yan? Attraction or incentives for them, right? But normally, under the law, it should not be. Dapat idaan sa salesperson or broker.
In Section 32 of Resa Law, expresses the statutory limitation of 20 salesperson per broker for corporations only. So why is it na yung sole proprietor na broker are also covered in that restriction?
Yeah. Under my watch, no, in Section 32 was interpreted by the board to cover all brokers. So although it is under the corporate practice, di ba? Pero ang ginawa ng board at that time, it covers all. All brokers must have 20 salesperson under them. Although I do not discount the fact that it can be clarified under the amendment of the Resa law, which I think is forthcoming, no? But the interpretation of the board was that the 1:20
Okay.
should
So the
be
discussion,
that the 1:20 should be imposed to all the accredited sales, to all the licensed broker.
all
In other
the-
words, 20 salesperson,
so that was the
one licensed
interpretation of the
broker.
board.
Oo. But I do not discount, nabasa ko yung provisions na yan no? But when I presented it to the board, at that time, no, when I was still the chair, we concluded that it will cover all the brokers. Although I can see that there is some sort of a little bit of gray area, no? Kasi nakalagay doon, corporate practice. And then what about if it is a single proprietorship, di ba? O kaya individual broker, included pa ba yung 1:20? And I think that will have to be clarified with the board, with the second board, because the interpretation of the first board, interpretation of the first board was that it covers all.
Okay.
No?
So it is about how you interpret the law. Correct, Doc?
Yes. But
I mean, it's up to the board on how the...
Now the board can ensue or pursue another opinion on that matter, which may or may not, for example, cover the others. Like for example, sabi nila, ordinary broker ako, single proprietorship ako, cover ba ako na 1:20? The pronouncement of the first board was you are covered. Pero yung second board, I think they might have some interpretations on the matter, and I do not want to interfere with their own opinions on that matter.
Board, yeah. Okay, I understand. So next, Doc, mayroong developer kasi mamimili ng mga client na tinatanggap nila. Like, any type of, was this religion? Okay, so may iba, hindi nila tanggapin ang Muslim. May iba, hindi nila tanggapin. So, may mga discrimination ang mga developer minsan. Is that legal pa? Sabi nila, is that legal?
No.
That the
No.
developer can choose a buyer?
Well, actually, if you are in the buying and selling, actually, if you are a developer, you may opt to. Kasi pwede ka namang pero under the law, equal protection yan hindi ba? So you cannot choose your buyer. But sometimes, some developers do so. Sabi nila, hindi pwede to, hindi pwede to. And it is within the prerogative of the corporation. Although, I would suggest, bakit mo tatanggihan yung buyer? Andiyan na yung buyer hindi ba?
Yeah. The next, Doc, what is the holistic concept of unlicensed real estate service practitioner? Does it only refer to colorum people? Colorum?
No, I can understand that yung colorum, generic yun no? Colorum, unlicensed yun, yung mga nagbebenta na walang lisensya. Pero hindi lang yan, ang mga taong yun, hindi lang yan yung individuals na kagaya natin. Sometimes, some people, even actually in high places, nagbebenta rin di ba? Walang lisensya. Sometimes, if you are in a sometimes some people in government they also sell, di ba? Well, ang tingin ko doon personally, yung selling should be covered by Resa law. Should be covered by RA 9646. But talagang merong gray area. I think that's why even before I left the board, I was already initiating to the other national organizations to review the law, because I saw a lot of gray areas in the law that needs to be clarified. And so therefore, there is really an amendment of the law. Importante i-amend ang law, and I can share with those people yung aking observation on some of the gray areas in the law.
What if your husband is a foreigner and he wants to be a legit real estate agent? What are the papers needed? So, ang babae is
Sino?
Filipino, so foreigner. So, ang Pilipina lang, ang babae lang.
Ang Pilipina, siya lang ang pwede. Yung husband niya hindi pwede unless that is covered by the foreign
Hindi pwede.
reciprocity clause.
Okay. Yung high school graduate na senior high, can they be qualified as salesperson? Senior high?
Hindi. Ang sinasabi, although ngayon, isa pang point yan na dapat i-clarify.
Yung senior, can they be qualified?
No. Kasi high school pa rin yan eh. Senior high school eh.
Okay.
Pero, that
so
can
marami
be studied.
Talagang gray areas, no?
That can be studied. I-accept ang senior high kasi additional 2 years yun eh, di ba? That can be studied. Pwedeng isama sa amendment of the law yan. So therefore, maliwanag ang law is explicit second year college education. Ang senior high school. Although time is changing. And then we have to adapt with the time, with the changing times. And it can be included in the amendment of the law or maybe siguro para madali. You know, there is the implementing rules and regulation, di ba? IRR. Para short of really putting it as an amendment, maybe the IRR can be amended to include, among other things, the senior high school. So, pwede yun. If there is a group of person or an association that would interpret that, back up with some legal opinions, pwede siguro yan. That is for the appreciation of the second board.
Yung mga agents, Doc, may tanong, pag agent, hindi ka talaga qualified mag-sell ng property, anong other option?
What is important is they can enroll. Well, I've been telling you kanina offline na kasi I'm now currently the dean of a college of real estate management in a school in Metro Manila. Mm-hmm. And we do that. We do fast track college collegiate BSREM education. So ngayon, since everybody now is online, kaya we do online BSREM.
Yeah, can we do online? Online BSRM, so mag-broker na sila lahat, yung 700 na agents dito para mag-broker sila. They just do online school?
Pwede yan, pwede. Now, ang CHED kasi now is espousing online education. But I'm saying na may mga limitations yan, Ton. Ang tinatawag ng CHED doon is what we call blended learning. Blended. Pag sinabi mong blended, para din yan flexible. So it can be 60-40, 70-30, 70-30, 70 online, 30% face-to-face, mga ganun eh. Kaya it can be done.
So sa face-to-face, pwede ako na bahala sa face-to-face, pwede?
Oo, pwede. And you can invite, for example, me as the dean to be there para ma-accredit.
Okay.
No? O kaya, pwede naman din yung online, gagawin natin in the comfort of their homes. Pwede naman yon. We are now finalizing the procedure.
Can we start the online real estate brokers seminar?
Yung seminars na yan, hindi seminars yan, bali college education na yan. Kasi pag seminar...
college education. But can we start enrolling? Can we do that?
We have to sign the necessary memorandum of agreement with school para i-include kayo namin sa aming enrollees for the first semester of 2020-2021, which will start in August.
Sige. So, ang gawin ko ngayon, kunin ko yung lista na gustong mag-broker para by August, they can enroll in the first online... BSREM?
Online niya will be ang enrollment is June.
June. Sige. So we still have May. I can collect the names ngayong May kung sinong gusto mag-online BSREM. Is that okay with you, Doc?
Okay yun. Kaya lang, ang tawag natin doon, blended learning, ha?
Sige.
Online, oo.
Yeah.
Pwede yun. I-encourage ng CHED yun. Kasi ngayon, hindi na pwede
Sige.
pumunta sa eskwela. Oo.
That's good. At least yung school mo, Doc, as you are the dean, already approved by CHED to do online BSREM, blended.
Teka muna, let me tell you, Ton. Last year, our school, Lyceum of Alabang, we got number 4 and number 6 in the licensure examination. Top 4, top 6 in the broker's exam. And
wow. Congrats, Doc,
in the appraiser's examination, we also got top 4 and top 9. Broker and appraiser, may top notches kami. And we have
congratulations.
A 90% passing average.
I think I am so excited with this, so we can get the top 10, 1 to 10 Filipino homes during the board exam soon.
Actually, pwede mo itong ikabit doon sa iyong fire.
Yes, we can even explore more in the fire system and make them the top real estate management brokers. So anyway, there's so good news yan, So to all the agents who are here, it's very good news that there is already BSREM online. So thank you very much for...
Let me clarify, no? There are 2 classes, no? First, yung bagong graduate ng high school. So yung bagong graduate ng high school, they have to go through the rigmarole of 165 units. Mag-uumpisa yan from A kasi wala pa yung mga general education subjects, di ba? Wala pa yung English, wala pa yung philosophy, wala pa yung mga ganon. In other words, mahaba yan. 4 years yan. Pero pag yung second course, I am referring to second courser. Ano yung second courser? Ito yung graduate na ng isang course. Pag BSREM graduate, pag BSBA ka o kaya meron kang nasa business cluster ka, no? Mm-hmm. At ganon, you can also enroll with us on what we call blended learning style. Blended learning. Kaya ngayon kasi, ang CHED kasi is now encouraging blended learning. Ini-encourage nila yung face-to-face and online, especially under the new normal.
So yung ilang oras ang online school natin?
Normally, classes are held every Tuesday and Thursday lang.
Okay. So every Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, so that's how many hours a day?
8 hours, pare.
8 hours?
Oo.
Maganda yan, How do you address the PRC backlog in giving resolution on salespeople?
Let me tell you. Okay. During my time, from 2010 up to about end of 2018, no? Until about I think August of 2018. During my time, there's no backlog kasi ang resolution after you have applied, if it comes to me, it is compiled. Ang Board of Real Estate Service acted on it promptly. Within 7 days, 1 week, pinipirmahan namin ang resolution. Ngayon, ang procedure dyan, after the resolution has been signed, babalik uli yan sa PRC. And PRC will do the administrative work of issuance of the necessary ID once approved in a resolution by the Board of Real Estate Service. Ang natatagalan siguro doon sa PRC paperworks, yung workflow. Medyo kasi, ang PRC is handling about 42, 43 professions. Ang dami-dami niyan.
Yeah.
Kaya medyo nagkakaroon ng backlog sa dami. Pero ang board, palagi ko walang backlog sa board eh. Kasi ang board lang naman, resolution eh. After the resolution has been approved, dire-diretso na yan eh. And I'm sure, even in the second board, walang backlog.
Ilang years ang BSREM? Online. BSREM online.
Normally, 2 years yan.
2 years. So, to everybody who are listening to our webinar, 2 years, BSREM online course. So,
Teka muna, yung 2 years na yon provided kung ka, you are a grad, second course yan, second course.
yeah,
Pero
second course, sir.
Oh, second course, sir. 2 years per provided you go to business cluster. Business cluster. Ano yung business cluster? Yung BSBA, management, marketing, production, operations, hospitality, tourism, public administration. Yun. Pag doon ka naka-align, kasi nakuha mo na agad eh. What we do is we do crediting of units. Yung first transcript of record mo, sasubmit mo sa amin, and we will evaluate the transcript of records. On how many more units can you take?
Okay.
Kasi
maganda yan. So, it is very important to collect
that TOR, transcript of records. I-evaluate namin yon.
Sige. So, the beauty with the new BSREM online is you have to apply, you give the TOR, then Dr. Ong will evaluate with his team lahat how many units you will need to really comply to become BSREM graduate. So maganda to. Kasi excited na sila lahat.
Yeah.
How will you define the line between a referor, nag-refer, at saka colorum?
Okay. Ang colorum is doing the act. Doing the act of offering, selling, listing, mediating, and closing the sale. Yun ang colorum. Pero yung referral, refer lang eh. Walang that is the division of the line.
Does Resa law covers people who would like to practice real estate selling, which usually involves representing a property owner, promoting, advertising, directly offering the listing of a sale? But what about the person who are appointed by the buyers?
Kung yun, appointed by the, basta meron siyang attorney impact on that property, okay siya, exemption ka.
Okay.
Kasi meron attorney
so,
impact
hindi siya colorum. So,
kung attorney impact siya dokumento, oo.
Yeah. Sige, magandang point, Doc. So, wala talagang colorum. Basta lang may papel.
May papel. Basta appointing him or her to do that property. Kung kasi importante yun, nakalagay sa exemption, attorney impact eh, di ba? Oo.
Pag magdala siya ng buyer sa developer, sabi ko, I will refer this buyer to the developer. So, hindi siya colorum.
Hindi siya colorum. Referrer lang siya. Oo. Pero ang nagko-close naman doon, hindi naman ata siya, di ba? Oo.
Ang developer naman eh. Ang developer ang magkuha ng documents. Anyway, Doc, thank you very much. We are so excited for the very enlightening explanation and presentation that you have here. And can we have your parting words for this session?
Okay. I should say, ladies and gentlemen, colleague in the real estate service profession, I should tell that we should not despair. I will be repeating what I always say to some practitioners that today, di ba, naka-lockdown tayo, para bang limited ang practice natin. Maybe you feel bad. And maybe tomorrow you will feel worse. But remember, my dear friends, my dear real estate practitioners, the day after tomorrow, there will be a silver lining in the sky and the sun will rise again. It is always important that we believe, we pray, we believe that we can do it. And therefore, real estate will always be, despite all of these problems, will bounce back. It will be, again, a sunshine industry. Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Ong. And to all of the attendees, we have another session, the ethics of real estate. Thank you, God bless you, and more power to you, Dr. Ong.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Doc.